Hello, welcome to the Perfecto Scriptless Mobile Introduction course. In this video, we will learn about some of the advanced features and possibilities of the Scriptless Mobile tool. Integrate Scriptless Mobile with your CI/CD system. Once your tests are written, it is possible to integrate them into your CI/CD process. On the screen, you see an example of such integration with Jenkins. For this integration, we would need to fill the parameters: Perfecto cloud name, security token, which is needed for authenticating to the cloud, and test location. Once you save your test in Scriptless Mobile, it is saved in your cloud repository and we can refer to its location for the Jenkins integration. We can run the test of our choice on as many devices at the same time as we like. For demonstration purposes, I have chosen 3 different devices which will run the same test simultaneously. For this, I have leveraged an existing REST API. You can find more information about it on our Perfecto Help website. Now we will start this build that was prepared beforehand. Once our tests start running, it is possible to watch the progress of the execution in the Perfecto live stream section. For this, we navigate to Test Analysis and choose Live Stream tab. We can see here our test running simultaneously on the 3 chosen devices. Once execution is finished, the information about them will disappear from the live stream view. Now, test execution is finished and reports are auto-generated in Perfecto. To see the reports, we will navigate to the report library. Here, you can see the 3 reports for each test run performed on a separate device. We can open all 3 of them in the cross-report view for comparison. From this view, we can also navigate to each individual task to see more details. Here we can see test steps. Click on each of them to see more info. We can find screenshots, execution video, and other info that we would normally see in the report. Using groups to organize test steps into the logical sections. You can use the grouping possibility to organize your test steps into the logical sections. This will make it easier to maintain your test later and improve the readability of the test cases. For example, we could group the steps which were executed as a precondition to separate those logically from the main body of the test case. On the screen, you can see how the test for a web application that was created earlier could be organized using the grouping functionality. I will add few comments to a new test to demonstrate a group creation process. In order to create group, we need to select the needed steps and click Combine Selected Steps into a Logical Step button. Group is created automatically and selected steps are placed inside the group. We can change the name of the group. For that, we need to open the command settings and change the value of the name parameter. Using Object-SPI Smart Locators. Each element on the screen, regardless whether it's a mobile or a web application, has a locator. Locator is the address of the element, which helps the system identify where exactly the element is. We can compare this mechanism with an address of a certain location on the map. In order to identify the location, we can specify a country, then narrow down to a city, then a street, a specific house, and then an apartment inside the house. In test automation, we identify 2 ways to write down a location of the element: absolute and relative. Absolute path represents a sequence of nodes in the hierarchy which we need to go through in order to reach the element. Same like we would go to a specific country, city, street, house on the street, and then navigate to apartment in real life. In test automation, such way of navigating elements may be unstable and introduce maintenance problems. If one of the elements in the address changes, the whole address becomes invalid. The alternative way of navigating the element is a relative path. Relative path is an optimized way of locating the element on the screen. In order to build a relative path, we need to find something unique about this element, a certain property that is not repeated for any one of the other elements on the screen. Such way of locating elements is considered to be more reliable and easy to use. On this slide, you see the example of an absolute path and a relative path for the same settings icon on the iOS device. ObjectSpy in Perfecto Scriptless Mobile has a feature creating a so-called smart locator. It identifies something unique in each element and generates automatically a relative locator, which we can use in our test automation. Using such locators instead of the absolute ones will make our tests more stable and requiring less maintenance. Test Variables section. In Scriptless Mobile, we have a Test Variables section where we can configure variable which will be used throughout our test. For example, we can add a timeout variable equal to 3 seconds and use this value in multiple places in our test. Let's see how to do it in Scriptless Mobile UI. In order to add a new variable, we need to open a Configure Test Variable settings. Here, we click Add New Variable button. We will choose the type of the variable from the drop-down. In our case, we need a variable with a type number. Then we will set the name of the variable, and finally set a value. To save a new variable, click Apply. Now we will replace the hard-coded value of a wait for 3 seconds with a newly created variable. For that, we need to choose a wait command in our test and click Edit Test Element. For a wait duration parameter, we need to change a usage value from a constant to a variable. In the Value section, we choose the name of the variable we have just created from a dropdown. Click Apply to save the changes. We can use same variable in the multiple places, and if, for example, we need to change the value of the wait duration, we can do it in one centralized place, the Configure Test Variables settings. Thank you for watching the video.